Dude.
It is one of the craziest fucking stories.
I always, so for people that don't know, I got to hang out with you at one of my shows one time, and it was I had the best time talking to you about everything. What made you think you could get a tiger? Like, how did that even happen?
Hey, I'm in, this is really interesting. I'm in prison at the time. So I'm in prison, I'm talking to my car dealer at the time, and he has some cars that belong to a friend of mine that's both a friend of ours, and he's discussing if he doesn't pay for these cars, I'm going to sell these cars to somebody and get some horses and stuff. I said, what, you can get horses and trade horses in for cars? Because I had a lot of cars, so I said, I'll probably get some horses too. And he said, yeah, man, you get cougars, lions, tigers. I know this guy got exotic. I said, you do? Can you get me some tigers? He said, yeah. And the guy told me, and the guy said, man, imagine how cool that be you be. Because I had a bunch of fancy cars. Imagine that, man, you be in an Aston Martin or a Ferrari, you have a tiger right next to you, man. That would be so awesome. And I'm a young guy. I'm in prison. I'm saying to myself, wow, that would be cool, right? I said, yeah, get me some cubs, man. And then when I came home, I had those cubs right there waiting for me.
So you raised them as cubs?
Yeah.
Because that's how you were. Because I would see footage of you like fucking smacking them around and jumping on one of your tigers, and I was like, holy shit.
Oh, no, I had them since they were babies. I had their mothers. Their mother since they were babies.
Now, did it ever get... This is a crazy picture. You in your underwear with a tiger on a chain. That is one of the...
That's the champ right there.
That's you at peak crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Tom, what was going through my mind? I don't know what made me think about... My friend said, Mike, you can get some awesome animals. And I'm saying, really? Are you serious? He said, really? I'm going to get some horses.